The Scholastic Ball Report is sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Double Dogs, Mingy Beef Jerky, Pannel Swim Shop, P-Rats, PrepSpend.com, Rafferty's, Raising Cane's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.
Hello, welcome into the Scholastic Ball Report. Gary Ball with Craig Foley, the head coach out at Frankfort High School, our state's capital. Coach, congratulations. You're in the regional final. You're playing Beechwood High School Friday night.
Yeah, you know, good consolation prize to get to go play Beechwood in round 3, but that's why you play the game. We'll strap it up and go to war.
And our scholar athletes, Coach, they hail from Lafayette cross country. We got David and Daniel, and those young men are outstanding, 4.3, 4.0, and I believe it's Daniel has a 33 on the ACT. That's unheard of.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's almost perfect.
I'll take it.
Wonder what happened. But anyway, we got another Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week as we head down to Sutherland Chevrolet. And we've got our first Pannel Swim Shop with Tom Viney. The Akers twins are here from Danville. All they are is 4.8 GPAs.
That's unheard of. I don't know how you get a GPA that high.
And Christina Jones is here from UK Sports Medicine. So we'll talk about the RICE principle. I got to get them all right. It's rest, ice, compression, elevation.
You got them.
That's the RICE principle.
That's
She's going to talk to us about that. And in the wrap, our high school interns, all of them, will be with us. That's, of course, Madison Davis and Abby Rasmussen and Katie Spurlock will all talk about what's going on in their high schools. We know Douglas had a tough loss the other night. All that's coming up, but the best highlights in the state of Kentucky. These highlights from Game Time brought to you by Central Bank.
All right, let's go to Pike County, where two of the state's premier programs going head-to-head tonight.
That's right. When you say Boyle County and Belfry, you immediately think of state championships, and that's because the two schools have combined for 14 state titles. In fact, over the past 5 seasons, the 3A championship has been won by either Boyle or Belfry. This marks the first time the Rebels have played in Pike County since 1999 when they played in, I bet you were, in the Pike County Bowl. We pick it up and Boyle down 10-zip, and that's Reed Lanter finding Reese Smith for the touchdown, 10-7 Belfry. Belfry's turn here to answer, but the Pirates can't handle the exchange. Boyle right there to recover, and he's going the other way. 7 plays later, exactly 7, we counted. Lanter finds Smith again, this time on the rollout to the left. It's 14-10 Boyle County. This was a big one tonight. Look at the score here as Boyle County runs away with this one, 41-24. Belfry's first home loss since in the playoffs since 2009, and you were there too, I bet.
The seniors were third graders back then, just saying. Franklin County looking to reach this first state semifinal since 1979. Knox Central, KNOX, has never been to the semifinals. They hooked up in Barberville. It's Barberville, if you know what I mean. The two states, 4A passers, the top passers going at it. Knox, KNOX, catches a break on the punt. After going 3 and out, the Flyers receive it, but they will cough it up. And the Panthers are there to jump on it. But on 4th and short, Brady Worley fakes the handoff. He now has running room. But then he fumbles the football. The Flyers get it, and now they're in business. Second quarter, it's Nick Broyles on the pitch to Jesse Thurman. He does the rest. Touchdown, Franklin County. But Knox Central rallies and wins it in overtime. 13-7, KNOX will now go to Johnson Central and a date with Kroger Field.
Welcome into the Scholastic Ball Report. I want to thank Roberts Insurance. They're out in Richmond, Kentucky. They're on Main Street. They insure 3/4 of this great state of Kentucky. Speaking of the state of Kentucky, from the state's capital, Frankfort, Kentucky, Craig Foley. It's always great to have you on the show, Coach.
I enjoy coming.
We really enjoy you. And tell us about this great 6-game winning streak you guys are on.
It's where a lot of it has something to do with the guy sitting next to me.
Yeah.
You know, going into this year, we felt like we would be pretty good. 2 games, we lost by a total of 7 points. You know, we kind of challenged these guys along with the other 8 seniors we've got. They've buckled down, and it's really kind of propelled us along the way.
Coach, you brought some great players with you. Tell us who you brought with you.
I did. I brought 3 solid young men with me. All 3 have been selected playing all-star games at the end of the season as well. But I've got DeJuan Davis, who plays wide receiver, running back, defensive back, returner. Javon Bush plays wide receiver and DB, and Javon just broke a school record for interceptions for a career. And then Jonathan Tillman plays quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, defensive end. Again, all 3 very fine young men and very good football players.
I'll start with you, DeJuan. Is that okay with you?
Yes,
I'll start with you. You lead the team in rushing with over 1,000 yards. That's always kind of a barometer that people like, is 1,000 yards. You're second on the team in tackles, so congratulations for that. Does it help you that you're in the game all the time there at Frankfort?
Yes, sir. It's tiring, but it helps a lot. It gives me a lot of opportunities to make plays. So.
What do you like, offense or defense better?
I probably like defense the most.
You like to hit, don't you?
Yes, sir. I like to make a tackle.
Javon, you're the leading receiver. How did you get good with your hands?
I just stayed focused in practice and on the off season and went 100%.
Let me ask you, is catching the football, is that with your hands or do you bring it into your body? What's your secret there?
Hands.
Good hands team, right? Okay. And Jonathan, you have the offense in your hands. You have the key. You're the quarterback. How has the offense developed this year over the entirety of the season, leading into that big Beechwood Regional Championship game?
During practice, we just come ready to practice and focus, and we come focused and
would you say
ready to work.
Would you say you're a spread offense, or would you say you like to run the ball? What would you say the main thing there is at Frankfort?
I say we're a spread offense. Let our athletes get the ball and do what they got to do.
Yep.
Coach, you're in the regional final for 1A. How can you explain that?
It's a double-edged sword. It's where we expect to be. It's where we want to be. There for a while, we had a run where we were there every year. So we're thrilled to be back. We're not satisfied. We want to keep going, and we want to get to that traditional Thanksgiving Day practice. We've had a couple of those at Frankfort, been fortunate enough to do that. Want these young men to experience it, and the rest of the community as far as that goes. So, we're excited about the opportunity we've got in front of us. It's a tough one. Beechwood always puts on a good show. They're a very solid program, but, I'll go to war with my guys. We've been in it for a long haul, and they've done everything I've asked of them. So, we hope we got 3 weeks left.
Coach, in high school football, anything can happen. Anybody can win a football game. Turnover here, turnover there. Anybody can beat a team like Beechwood.
Well, and I tell them all the time, and I think they get sick of hearing it every now and then. In 1997, I was at Bourbon County.
Right.
Nobody expected us to do anything.
No, they did not.
We came off losing season. These guys weren't even born yet.
Yeah.
And I'm dating myself a little bit. But we had breaks. We had weather playing in our favor.
Yep.
And end of the year, we were holding the trophy.
Well, Coach, we thank you very much for coming in. Mingy Beef Jerky would like to present you with will that make it to Frankfort tonight?
Yeah, I'll have to hide it, but it'll make it.
Mingy Beef Jerky, you get that. And thank you, Coach, and good luck in the regional championship. It's just an honor to be playing in a regional
Absolutely.
championship. That's the Frankfort Panthers, our team of the week. We'll be back with more on the show, including our scholar athletes from Lafayette. Welcome back into the Scholastic Ball Report with my intern Abby Rasmussen out of Lafayette. From Lafayette High School, 2 great cross-country runners, and they're part of our Scholar Athletes. It's a segment we do, that's the most popular segment, gentlemen, because we bring in girls and boys that are doing great things in the classroom like you two guys are. Outstanding. I'm going to start with you, David, okay?
Yes, sir.
You run cross-country, you keep a 4.0 in pre-engineering, and you're in the symphonic band there at Lafayette High School. You do all that. How in the world do you do all that?
Well, I won't lie, it is a challenge. It's certainly not easy. Honestly, I would say the biggest thing for me is trial and error, seeing what works with time management, seeing how I can get things done, trying new things, what works, what doesn't. And I think that's helped me develop very, very helpful time management skills that I think I'll need later in life.
Absolutely, and you experiment with things to try to find out what works, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir, yeah.
And then Daniel, you have a 4.3 GPA, a 33 on the ACT, and you make time for orchestra. Tell us about your average day.
Yeah.
Well, it's not gonna lie, it's also a lot on the table, but usually during the season it'll just be, of course, school, and then just school and running, practicing my cello, and as David said, time management is very important. I have to really learn where to put my time towards. And
are you going to be like the other student we had on the show? He didn't like his 33. He's going to take it again so he can try to get a 36.
I think I'm pretty satisfied with my 33.
I'd be satisfied with 33.
Yeah.
I mean, if you doubled mine, I might have gotten a 33. But anyway, let's forget off that topic. David, talk to us about your cross-country season and how that went this year. I know you guys finished, I think, 8th or 9th in the state.
Yes, sir, yes. It's been a great season. I would say probably my best so far, both with performance and just as a person. You know, it's been very enjoyable. You know, I've gotten closer with everyone, and it's been a blast, really. You know, it had its highs and lows, as do all seasons.
Right.
But you know, I've grown both as a runner and as a person, so I can't really ask for more. So it's been great.
That's fantastic.
And Daniel, what about you? How did your season go?
During my season, I met my fair share of challenges, as all runners do, but I pushed through them. And you know, cross country, when it comes down to it, it is a team sport. You know, and our team did absolutely wonderful this year. I'm really proud of my teammates. And another huge part of cross country is just its impact on you as a person. And I feel like I've grown more this year as a person than I have in any of the years in the past. You know, I've really embraced that change.
What will you do after you graduate? I'll start with you.
Well, you know, that's the great mystery. I can't say I know exactly what my plans are. I plan to go to college, obviously, but and then. I would say I want to run in college also. I haven't decided on a team would be ideal. If not, then maybe through club or just on my own.
Right.
But yeah, and that's and then I hope to continue running the rest of my life in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. And how about you?
I also plan to pursue a college career, and I'd also like to continue cello and running, either with the orchestra and with a team or just by myself.
I just think it's fantastic. You combine athleticism with the instruments, you know. That's great. Ryan Tyson will present both of you with one of these beautiful plaques. Pass that down. Both of you will get those. Take that over there, and he'll personalize that for you with your name and school for no charge. Great job there, and great job with the cross-country team finishing in the top 10 in the state this year.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And that are our scholar athletes from Lafayette High School. Now we're going to this Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
It's time for the Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week. It comes from the Scott County Simon Kitten game, and that is Glenn Covington catching the interception off the deflection and taking it the other way, 24 yards for the Scott County touchdown. Take another look at it. Right place, right time. Glenn Covington picks off the pass, and he's in for 6. Scott County goes on to win big. They're moving on to the state semifinals. That is your Sutherland Chevrolet Drive of the Week.
Well, you can see from the logo there, it's time for Pannel Swim Shop. Tom Viney's here.
That's
you know,
right.
it's a swimming segment we do. We've done it for several years now.
Absolutely.
But we've got some great young ladies in here tonight.
We're kicking off the season really strong. We've got 2 really strong swimmers here from Danville with their coach. And, you know, just starting with you, Coach Tasha, tell me a little bit about these 2 athletes that you've got on your team.
These 2 girls complement each other really well. They push the rest of our swimmers to become successful. And they've been on our state relay team since 7th grade. So
some great experience that you've got there.
Yes.
You're sophomores now there at Danville. We know it's a great academic school. Yes. We've already we documented that. So what is it about Danville that keeps you so focused? Because you play everything there. Let's start with you.
Taking the AP classes and honors classes, that makes us focus more and have like a tight schedule with our sports and academics.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so tell me a little bit about, with this mad schedule that you have, how do you keep focused between athletics and all the success that you're having in academics and on the pool and on all the fields as well?
A lot of time management and perseverance, because we just have to keep on doing what we're doing to succeed and hopefully go to college and play a sport.
So now here's the big questions. Just the start of the swim season. You guys are in the pool. What are some of your goals for this year?
Well, we want to go to state for sure in the relays like we've been going. And then I also want to try and break a school record in the 50 freestyle.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so you're going to get it?
We'll see.
Okay.
Jenna, what about you?
Of course, we want to go to state in a relay, and I would like to break a record in the 100 breaststroke.
100 breaststroke, all right.
Well, I tell you what, this is going to be a hard act to follow, Mr. Viney. I mean,
Absolutely.
we got a bunch of these shows with the Pannel Swim Shop to do, but we're looking forward to them. We have great swimmers and divers. Thank you for coming on the show. Great job, and I hope you break those records there at Danville High School. There's some records to be broken. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Joel.
Those are swimmers from Danville High School and our Pannel Swim Shop. We'll be back with more, including our UK Sports Medicine. It'll be Christina Jones. We have Katie Spurlock, our intern from Lafayette. That's our UK Sports Medicine segment. Thank you for joining us, Christina.
No problem.
How you
Happy
doing?
to be here.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. So we're going to talk about the RICE principle, if you don't mind. Tell us about the first part of that, rest.
Yeah, so rest, it's also very important. So let's talk about maybe an injury on Friday night. So it's a football game, someone goes down with an ankle sprain, right? So initially, what we want to do, decide if they can go back in the game or not. We say, no, you can't go back in the game. This is severe ankle sprain. Then the athlete says, well, what do I do over the weekend? So that's when we give them the RICE component. So the RICE component is first rest. So we obviously want them to stay off their ankle for that weekend. So not to be walking around, not to be hanging around with friends. And then the next component is ice. So we want them to always be icing. That's going to help with pain. And also, if you get it on quick enough, that can also help prevent some swelling as well.
You talked about ice.
Mm-hmm.
When do you use heat or ice?
Yeah, so especially with acute injuries, you want to stay away with heat. So you don't want to use heat in the first 48 hours because that can actually prolong the healing process and kind of drag out that injury. Right. So you want to make sure in the first 48 hours that you're always using ice. You can start implementing heat after that, but heat will kind of be a component that you want to use before exercise.
What about the compression part of it? I mean,
yeah. So the compression is great kind of after icing or while icing. That helps prevent swelling and kind of pushes the swelling out of the joint. So you want to make sure kind of when you're applying that compression wrap, you don't want any holes or anything in that wrap because sometimes pockets of swelling can go in there. So kind of if you're wrapping something, you want to make sure that there's no gapping. You want to make sure it's pretty tight, but not too tight that you're going to be cutting off that circulation.
And of course, you want to elevate it to keep the blood flowing, right?
Exactly. So compressing and elevating is the perfect way to go because kind of you're pushing out that swelling with that ACE wrap, and then gravity will be your friend too as it's assisting.
Be your friend, won't it?
Exactly.
That's UK Sports Medicine. There's their website, the phone number. Give them a call. They have the walk-in clinic, and they will keep you in the game, as we say at UK Sports Medicine. Now we're going to these final highlights. It's regional championship football, the Commonwealth Gridiron Bowl, brought to you by Whitaker Bank, uniquely Kentucky.
All right, we've got more high school football. We head north to Beechwood, where the Tigers have won 14 state championships, including the past 2 years. Frankfort has seen its season into Beechwood 9 of the last 12 times. Man, the Tigers' Logan Castleman finds an opening, and boom, the crowd tells you he's gone. Beechwood jumps out to a 28-0 first quarter lead. Frankfort tries to stay around. District Player of the Year, John Tillman, will find DeJuan Davis, and Wani gets the Panthers on the board, but that would be the only time. Frankfort goes down to Beechwood again. 49-8 is the final.
And welcome back into the wrap. We're going to wrap it up thanks to Frankfort High School, Danville, those twins from Danville. What great swimmers they are. Lafayette cross country, they were top 10 in the state. Some great guests on the show today, you guys. I mean, just great talking to all these athletes.
Yeah, Lafayette's been doing pretty good. I mean, they won the band championship.
Yep.
They're doing good in cross country.
Yeah, they're working really hard.
Our winter sports are about to start up.
Kind of surprised me that the Broncos lost to Scott County.
Yes, it was a really good game. You know, we were down for a little bit, but, you know, after halftime they came back and they fought hard.
Yeah.
I know Landis must have said something to them, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, they worked hard and, you know, deserved or not, you know, I think they did really good this season.
Imagine a fly on that wall in there at halftime. You could peel the paint on the wall. Douglas had a great season, 11-0. They had a great season. Finished ranked #1. As always on the Scholastic Ball Report, for those you see and those you don't see.
Keep your eye on the Scholastic Ball Report.
The Scholastic Ball Report was sponsored by UK Sports Medicine and by Central Bank, Crown Trophy, Double Dogs, Mingy Beef Jerky, Pannel Swim Shop, P-Rats, PrepSpin.com, Rafferty's, Raising Cane's, Roberts Insurance, Sutherland Chevrolet, and by Whitaker Bank.